Hello everyone, and welcome back to the iSNF Cup series. It feels like it's been a while. It's been a good 3 weeks, and since it's a day of returns, back here again with Tony Trapasso. Hello, Tony.
Jason, it's good to be back in booth with you. Sorry I missed the last couple of races, but real world kind of got in the way of that one. But, back here at Martinsville, and somebody's going to win a grandfather clock.
Yeah, absolutely, and well, it's good to be back. Good to be back myself. Actually, it's felt like quite a long break, or well, it really has. And good to be speaking to Rhea Ferris again. Hello, Rhea.
Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. It's good to be back as well. And quick question, Tony. That grandfather clock that you're going to win, or a driver is going to win. How many Martinsville hot dogs does it take in order to win that?
26.
Ooh, you got to eat 26 Martinsville hot dogs?
Just ask Jeff Gordon.
Oh, okay. I will. Next time I see him. No,
Take 26.
Okay.
Per weekend.
That answers that question. So we have a pretty full field here tonight. Lots of subs, a handful of first-time iSNFers in the Cup Series, that is. Of course, they did race in some lower-tier series races in order to become eligible to race tonight. But for multiple reasons, we have a lot of drivers out tonight. And, one of them definitely is close to our heart. And I'll let Tony talk about that later. But first, we want to kind of start off on a hometown feel. And one of our hometown drivers is none other than Casey Tomlinson, driving the Trackhouse #1 machine. And I'd like to get a word with Casey on this track and what it would feel to win at his home track if he were to get that dub, get that grandfather clock to put on his mantle there. Have you had a Martinsville hot dog yet, Mr. Casey?
I already have.
Awesome. So, what are your expectations in today's race?
Try to survive.
Yeah.
That's
What would it mean to get a win tonight?
That'd be a shocker.
Now you're due, bud.
I know.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Do you have any teamwork help out there today for you?
I think Hendrick Motorsports might actually help.
Well, they are your alliance, so I hope so. So how's practice out there? Are you able to maintain your way around and get comfortable here?
I'm trying to get comfortable. It's just when people dive on the corner. That's the hard part.
Yeah, your breaking point, is it?
My breaking point's different than everybody else.
Yeah. So, are you just hoping for a top 10 tonight, or are you just going to just survive? That's really the name of the game.
I'm just going to survive.
Okay. So, in other words, don't eat any Dairy Queen Blizzards tonight.
Yes.
Well, Casey, the good news, Casey, with the way that you're attacking the corners, if we get an extended green flag run, you're going to be in the catbird seat because you're not using up your brakes, you're not using up your front tires as much as a lot of the guys around you will be.
Because I'm lifting early.
Right. So you're letting it float the corner rather than attack the corner.
I'm lifting and tapping the brake.
So in a long green flag run, you're going to have more tire than everybody else deep into that run. So, you could end up in the catbird seat by using that driving style tonight.
I don't know. It could work in a favor.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, you're due, my friend. So best of luck to you tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, Casey. We'll see you hopefully in a podium here in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, my friend. That was Casey Tomlinson, driver of the #1 Gear Wrench Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. He's out of Colonial Heights, Virginia, which is a suburb of the Richmond metro area over there, just between Petersburg and Richmond. He's, I think, about maybe 2 hours or less from the Martinsville track, to be exact, across Route 50 or something like that, or
maybe 90 minutes if you hustle it.
Yeah. If you down a bunch of Martinsville hot dogs for extra energy, you'll get there quicker. But another driver who happens to be the points standings leader, I'd like to try and catch a word with Mr. Linus Brostrom if he's in any of the chats. And at the moment, I'm not seeing that gentleman present. So it's very possible we won't get a chance to talk to him tonight. But with that said, I mean, so you do have Linus up front with 900 points. And then how far back is it to P2 in the point standings right now?
I'm showing 27 points back to JB Banner.
Okay. So JB Banner is in the race at least, so that could play out. I know JB did lead the points there for a little while, having a little bit of an early on Cinderella story, if you will. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how these points shake out by the end. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that you guys have such a tight points battle going on in your top 5 right now is amazing. The biggest gap in that top 5 is between Linus Brostrom and JB Banner. Then you're 15 more back to Brian Chu, 6 more back to Marcus Hagman, and only 5 back to Jalen Battle. So the fact that top 5 is as tight as they are, we're in for a slugfest this season for the points championship.
Oh yeah, for sure. And being the iSNF owner of Team Penske, being on the top of the point standings right now is kind of mimicking the real life Penske top spot in the point standings, coming into real life California over there. So it's kind of just it just puts an extra smile on my face to see Penske at P1 right now.
In the driver's standings, unfortunately, you guys are second in the team standings. Hendrick Motorsports is ahead of you guys by 180.
Yeah, Hendrick, unfortunately, they, well, I wouldn't say cheat, but I don't know, probably a synonym of that. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, if you're not playing in the gray area of the rule book as a crew chief, you're not trying hard enough.
And also, too, you're looking at the team standings from Sim Racer Hub, and sometimes those can be a little inaccurate. I actually have a spreadsheet that is more accurate to that by the car, for car owners' points, no matter who drove it, and that is more true accurate to the team owners' points. I do believe
Gotcha.
Hendrick is still probably P1, but I don't know if we're that far back. But I'll have that information going into next week for you, so you can...
Fair enough.
Perhaps, yeah. But Hermie Sadler is going to be in the race today, and it was good to meet him in person a week or two ago on my way down to Daytona Speed Weeks, and I had a blast down there meeting the very first iSNF Ironman Award winner, Brian Chu. We hung out for a week down there in Daytona. I got to see all the next-gen cars in action, and we took a couple weeks off here from iSNF Cup Series racing because of the Super Bowl being 1 week and then the real life Daytona 500 being last week. And we wanted to give everyone an opportunity to see the race, whether it be on TV or in person, spend time with their families for Valentine's Day as well and their loved ones. So we wanted to just kind of give everybody a little bit of a break. We didn't take breaks altogether from racing in iSNF. We still had races going on every Saturday. Dabbled in the Xfinity just a little bit as well, but it's good to be back, and it's good to be back with you gentlemen, and I hope we have a good race here tonight. Expect a lot of cautions. I'm going to throw out a number, and I'm going to have you, Tony, and Jason do an over-under. I'm going to say 15.
I'll take the over.
I'm hoping for under.
I mean, I'm hoping for under 2, but I'm going to take the over on that one, as I'm seeing quite a few new names in the field tonight. Good to see a little cross-league competition going on, as I saw Brian Chu running with the iRacing East Series in their Circle B Diecast Super Speedway League on Friday night, and I'm seeing in the number 20 you've got one Mr. Chris Worrell that we normally see in the 6th in both the Monday night and Friday night iRacing East league races. So good to see him coming over and joining you guys.
And I brought Mr. Points Leader, finally showed up in Discord chat. And
Yay.
we did have the one most valuable, most important question to ask him. And I believe it was Jason who had the question. You asked it, sir.
It was.
I think it was me that
It was
asked
Tony,
it.
but I know which one. I know which one you're asking.
Linus, just out of curiosity, and I know that you're leading the drivers' points right now, but what is it going to be like trying to keep peace in your household, considering that your father's racing with you in the 31 and your girlfriend is racing with you in the 00?
Well, at the moment, I'm pretty much quicker than both of them, so it's not an issue right now. I'm just trying to teach them both how to race and be fast. But we've had a bit of a practice session here at Martinsville, and I think both of them are pretty happy with their own progressions, and they're doing a very good job. Both of them have been racing about a year. I think my fiance had her 1 year about a month ago, and my dad is coming up on his or whatever. And I had my 11-year anniversary yesterday as well, so I've been
happy belated anniversary.
But we're all pretty happy at the moment. But at some point we're gonna hate each other, and then I don't think we're gonna be talking to each other for a few hours. But then I think we'll figure it out.
That was the $1 million answer. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah, the question is who's going to sleep on the couch tonight.
Well, I've got a NASCAR race to watch after this is done, so I'll probably be sleeping in my rig if push comes to shove, but I think we'll be fine tonight.
Linus, good luck to you tonight, and the rest of Team Penske. Just remember to keep the captain in mind, and I'll be down there to join you guys in just a few minutes. Good luck out there. We are about to go into qualifying here, so we're going to wrap this interview up. But gentlemen, we'll let you go ahead and start your engines, and we'll hopefully talk to you later.
Thanks, Rhea. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck to you and the entirety of Team Penske tonight.
Appreciate it.
So, Jason, as she mentioned, qualifying underway right now. We got a handful of cars out on track right now. Looks like Austin Cook in the 43 going to be the first one to set a time. And we do need to touch on why Austin is in the 43. That looked healthy. But the biggest thing that we do need to mention is the fact that Austin is subbing in the 43 tonight for Travis Eccles. Thoughts and prayers going out to Travis's family as we lost Travis's dad yesterday. So, again, thoughts and prayers going out to the entire Eccles family on behalf of the entirety of the Sports Broadcasting Network. You have our condolences, and we'll be keeping you guys in our prayers. And I'm reminded of an old Irish proverb that my grandfather taught me when I was just a boy. May you be in heaven an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
Yeah.
As Hermie Sadler laying one down in qualifying, going to the top of the pile. 1948 Alexander Weigert just edging him out ever so slightly as 3/1000ths of a second. 1948 1 for Weigert and a 19.484 for Sadler. So from the looks of it, as of right now, Sadler's going to be starting up on the front row. Jalen Battle out on track right now, as is the 99 Emily Urias, as Battle on his first flyer, Urias on her second. And
Some of these
first
guys
lap.
have to get a move on
Oh yeah,
because
there's only about a minute and a half left in the qualifying session.
yeah,
As
important.
Battle goes 12th quick on his first flyer. Brostrom out on track right now. As if you want to take a quick
Up to
look at the weather
third for
conditions,
Battle.
third quick for Battle. That's a decent run. As Brostrom down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4 he goes.
Weather at the moment, we're looking for 65 Fahrenheit with a 4-mile-an-hour wind. So,
Wow! Did you see the lap Brostrom just laid down on his second flyer?
oof.
Good grief. 19.451.
That is a very, very quick one.
Yeah, that's
But,
absolutely hustling it. Is Bright Shoe out on track right now. Hopefully he's going to get his second one in. Looks like he's going to be okay. Coming through 3 and 4 as we speak. And good head of steam coming out of 4 across the stripe. And that is
Just an
not
improvement,
going to
but
improve.
no position for him, yeah. I think it's worth noting, actually, that we've seen people not qualify in the past tactically to maybe try and avoid some ranks. Obviously, you probably wouldn't want to do it here, looking at how narrow it is. You're not going to be avoiding anything. But
yeah, absolutely is. Gene
yeah.
Duda was getting ready to roll one, but qualifying does come to an end. So
time to look
we
at the grid.
have 34 cars. Rhea Ferris, Robert Rowe, Gene Duda, Marshall Harris, and Tommy Stanley all electing to not take time in qualifying. So how about we go through the starting grid, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly as well, not taking a time in qualifying, I've been told that is a 10-point penalty, actually, as well.
Which is a new thing that they're doing.
Yeah, so that's quite an interesting one. But looking at the front row, it's an all-Swedish front row. We've seen this before. We'll probably see it again. Linus Brostrom this time taking the pole with Alexander Weggett in second. Row 2 is going to be Hermie Sadler. I believe that's his best start in this series so far, with Jalen Battle in fourth. Row 3 is going to be Marcus Hagman and Skylar Carnes. Row 4 is going to be Bruce Rivers and Chris Worrell, with Row 5 being Isaac Wilson and Brian Chu.
Mark Gonzalez and Chad Waller are going to roll off in row 6. Row 7 is going to give us Joey Maines and Jeff Wimmer. Row number 8 is going to Austin Cook and Mark Hanna. Emily Fagrell, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Bjorn Brostrom. So 2 of the members of our points leader Linus's family going to roll off in row number 9. Jason Ricketts and JB Banner making up row 10.
So then row 11 is going to be Eugene Thorne and Ian Humphreys, with row 12 being Johnny Castle and John Hopley. Row 13 gives us Clarence Prince and Emily Urias, with row 14 being Dave Holmberg and Casey Tomlinson. Spoke to him earlier, one of the hometown heroes, and hopefully he can do well tonight. And Bob Wyckoff and Rhea Ferris on row 15.
Wyckoff being the last car to post a time in qualifying. Everybody else lined up via their iRating. So that brings us to row number 16 of Robert Rowe and Gene Duda, and starting shotgun on the field in row number 17, Marshall Harris and Tommy Stanley. So 34 cars here to go off here tonight. 250 laps of scheduled distance, 65% fuel fill, and only 4 sets of tires to get it done. As we're just waiting for
Quite a few
couple of
cars to
stragglers here.
Yeah.
Hagman, Worrell, Chu, Thorne, Ferris, and Stanley, all waiting on them to grid up right now. As there's
Done pretty
most of them.
soonish. Not sure what timer they're running for the grid.
Grid countdown timer set to 3 minutes.
Okay.
So we are about to come to the conclusion of timers here. But yeah, full packed field here tonight. 34 cars at the tight paperclip that is Martinsville. There's really nowhere to hide here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we're about to start for the formation lap as well. Eugene Thorne having jumped to the pits. But
Yeah, he's electing the pit start, as is Harris and Stanley. So field starting to roll it behind the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car. And excuse me while I reach through the phone and choke our boss.
As you said, absolutely nowhere to hide. So, well, this start's going to be pretty crucial. I have to say, they're not lined up particularly well behind our leaders, but they've still got a little bit to sort it out.
And as the lights go out on the pace car, everybody trying to get a little bit of heat in those tires as it's relatively cool conditions here. So there is going to be a ton of grip in the track. The only problem is, until you get some heat in the tires, it's going to be like trying to drive on ice in the wintertime. So that's going to be a fun one to try to figure out, as we've got an all Penske Motorsports front row coming down the back straightaway behind the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car. It makes the hard left turn onto pit road. Brostrom has the button, so the only thing that's really left to do, folks, is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness. Grandpa, hop a Viagra pill, because it's time to get it on in Martinsville. Side by side they go. Sadler up into the number 3 spot as the 24 battle kind of falls back just a little bit behind this lead group of 3, led by your points leader, Linus Brostrom. Hagman up into the number 4 spot in that Hendrick Motorsports number 5. Battle right there with him. Bruce Rivers slugging it out with Skylar Carnes right now, as we've got one real slow down the back straightaway. Looks like that's Casey Tomlinson. Nope, John Hopley.
It looked like there was nearly going to be contact between Rivers and Carnes. But first, yellow.
Oy.
Duda
getting it wrong going into 3.
Ooh. That's not what it was.
That's the 17 of Gene Duda.
Ooh.
And he just full send it, locked it up, and just way overdrove that corner.
I'm gonna have to reverse that because I did not get that.
Looks like the 45 having issues as well.
Started a bit with the 78 actually of Dave Holmberg.
Yeah, Holmberg got into the back of the 45 going into 3. Turned him, jams on the binders himself, and gets run over by Duda. And Duda comes out the worst for wear as the front end of that number 17 is annihilated.
Yeah. The 17, definitely didn't help the issue in there.
As Emily Urias
just behind Brostrom,
getting involved in that one, just barely able to get the 99 stopped in time, so she didn't hit anything. But Duda gonna need to go to pit road to get some repairs done on that Fastenal Ford Mustang.
Yeah, and you can see him doing that now. So that's probably going to be a decent amount of time in the pits.
Safe bet. And I don't think he realizes just how broken that car is.
Yeah, I mean, especially since you can't really see it from the driver's seat, but I guess best thing to do when you're sat in the pits is to just sort of get out in game and have a look really at what happened.
Well, points leader Linus Brostrom telling him what he can see out of his rearview mirror, and I guarantee Linus is telling him, "Hey man, I can see your radiator. You need to take that thing pit side." As there he goes to go pit side now. So getting out of the way. I was. No, I'm not. Now I am. Sorry, folks. The joys of replay.
Yeah, he went in about a lap ago.
Something like that. Anyways, Brostrom, Wegert, Sadler, Hagman, Battle, Carnes, Rivers, Worrell, Wilson, and Gonzalez rounding out your top 10 as we are already the first caution in. You heard Rhea Ferris, league admin, putting the number at 15. So let us know in the chat, are you betting the over or the under on this one, and are you playing the at-home drinking game with us? And for those of you unfamiliar with the at-home drinking game, every time there's a caution flag, you take a shot.
Not recommended at Martinsville.
If you want to play the pro level of the game, you take a shot for whatever number caution we're on. So this being the first caution, you would take 1 shot. Next time the caution flag flies, you take 2 shots.
Absolutely
and
not
keep adding
recommended at Martinsville.
to that. Sorry?
Absolutely not recommended at Martinsville.
Well, the way to win the game is not die of alcohol poisoning.
So
As
we go
green flag comes
again.
back out and we are back underway. And those 2 Penske cars running stem to stern right now as Hagman working the outside of Sadler right now down the back straightaway. Side by side they go, and looks like Sadler going to have the position running that low line. That down on the inside of the corners is definitely going to be the advantage. Once they get some rubber work into that second lane, though, and the tires start to wear out, where Hagman is going to become more and more of an advantage as long as you keep it on the concrete.
Yeah, it looks pretty even for now. Ooh, the 42's off into the wall. Mark Gonzalez.
Mark Gonzalez, one of the subs right now in the 42 Petty GMS Chevy Camaro. And it looks like he just jumped on that throttle pedal just a little too hard. Back end washes out, around he goes, and he does the right thing of keeping it stopped until the field passes.
Yep, absolutely. But, I mean, all damage is bad damage, but that might not be too bad. You'll still want to get some repairs done, but...
Well, that could have been a lot worse than it was.
Yeah. Well, I can still see front bumper, so...
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a hard hit on that inside safer barrier, but it was definitely enough to wake the drivers up. You know, especially considering that he was running in the top 10 when that happened. So the fact that everybody was able to get by cleanly and not get into him, you know, that's some heads up driving for everybody right now.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of a better spin if you spin towards the inside, because that's not really going to be where people are going to be.
Absolutely, as we do have some takers down pit road.
Yep.
Eugene Thorne, Gonzalez, Casey Tomlinson, all bringing those cars pit side.
Maybe a bit of fuel top off, and it'd have to be very minor damage repair. Nearly getting into each other, stopping for the fuel going around. Actually, that was close.
Yeah, that could have ended more poorly than it did. Luckily, both drivers paying attention as pit road is closed for the safety car until the field passes. As just waiting for a couple of stragglers to flash by. There goes the 99. And pit road open so they can finally leave.
Just in time for the rest of the field to start making its way around and exit again.
Yeah, that was kind of the joke that we were talking about during the pre-race before we went on the air.
Yeah.
Was that the easiest way to tell if you're at the tail end of the field that we're going green is just look behind you, and if you see the leaders battling, you might want to jump on the gas. Because, the field's stretching a halfway around, or almost a halfway around this track in single file form. We've got a big field, but double filing up. Grostrom and Wegert on that front row. The lights go out on the pace car. Hagman up into the number 3 spot. Sadler back to 4th. Skylar Carnes up to 5th. Jalen Battle back to 6th. Chris Worrell, Bruce Rivers, Isaac Wilson, Chad Waller rounding out your top 10 as the pace car peels on off. Grostrom has the triggers. They work their way into the restart zone and holds them down. Green flag comes out, and we are back underway. Grostrom and Wake, and we're back under caution.
Ooh, look like that was a big one. That was
yeah.
a big one.
That's not good. There's about 6 cars involved in that one. Let's back this one up and see what the heck happened.
Ooh, I think the 9 got on the throttle and just hit it hard into the outside wall.
Definitely started with the 9.
9.
He just, spun the tires. 48 gets into him and then blasts Rhea Ferris. The 42, nowhere to go. Gets the race car to the face. 45 catches the 9. The 3 catches the 45. And then we've got a little bit of a pile up a little further forward as the 21, the 34, and the 41 all nowhere to go. Just dogpile into the 2 hung up cars of Ferris and Prince. No, I'm sorry. It's Ferris and Gonzalez.
I think the descriptor I'm going to use for that one is yikes.
Yeah, and it's just bad luck,
Yeah.
And
I mean, if there's anything they can take from it, I think for quite a few of those, they were at least minor hits.
Yeah, they were, but there's a lot more damage now on the front and now back of the 42 of Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to need to bring that one down pit road this time to get that one sorted out. Looks like Ferris, minor cosmetic damage.
I think that's quite surprising.
The 34 of Castle.
Because it feels like she had the hardest, one of the hardest hits.
Well, it was in the quarter panel.
It wasn't to a wall as well.
Right. She definitely, you can see a wow in the quarter panel on the right side of that Menards number 12. But, you take a look at 34, Johnny Castle. He's got a lot of front end damage. And what that can lead, we've seen time and time again, the radiators on these cars are just so fragile. He's going to have to be careful and watch his temps moving forward, because there is a ton of front end damage on that car, and it's going to be so easy to overheat it moving forward.
Yeah, and overheat it too much, and bang.
Call that twiffing a motor. As the lights go out on the pace car, all the wave around cars getting their spots back on the lead lap. And they've extended the caution.
just after the pace car went in.
Just as the pace car was going in, because they knew that somebody was going to try to cold trickle the field if they didn't extend the caution.
Yeah.
And that would have led to another caution. But because they did not go a complete lap under green, they are going to go single file, as the pace car is going to flash back out on track for the length of the back straightaway and then pull back in. There it goes,
again.
and here we go. Jason, if you want to lead us back to green.
Yeah, can do. Just coming up to it now. Green flag has been called. We're back underway. Like the 2 and the 5 already side by side. Marcus Hagman trying to make a move on his fellow Swede. Weggett on the outside.
And while he's doing that, here comes Skylar Carnes on Hermie Sadler as well. Weggert actually getting the spot rustled away from Hagman, as Sadler now puts Hagman under attack for third.
Yeah, bad exit for Hagman, I think.
And Hagman's about to get freight trained, as here comes Carnes as well in the 47.
Oh, very loose for battle. Held that so close between the 47 and the 25 as well, and nearly contact between those two. Isaac
Well,
Wilson
it started with the
Hagman.
41 of Bob Wyckoff not picking a lane. So they had to weave their way around the lap car that was working basically as a moving chicane. Luckily, nobody getting into Wyckoff as we stayed green. Brostrom showing the way by about a car length and a half over his teammate Weigert, as Sadler giving Weigert all he can handle right now. We got a little bit of a 5-car breakaway starting to form up at the front of this piece. Brostrom, Weigert, Sadler, Carnes, and Worrell with about 3/4 of a second over 6th place Bruce Rivers in the 19.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I like a good chicane, but I don't like it moving. Looks like there's quite a bit going on towards the back as well. I just saw the 00 dropping back quite quickly.
Yeah, it looks like she got the corner entry all wrong as she's falling back into the clutches of the 12 Maria Ferris, as Robert Rowe works his way around her, as Ferris giving Fedrell all that she can handle right now.
Yeah, ooh, looking up towards the front as well. Chris Worrell now up into third. Carnes and Sadler down 4th and 5th, and now they're going to try and battle it out for that 4th position.
Absolutely. Rivers in the 19, so 2 DeWalt cars in the field tonight. But the 20 of Worrell, we've seen him time and time again work some magic on Monday nights in the next gen cars, and he's showing that he knows how to get it done in the Gen 6 cars as well. Currently sitting up 5 from where he started. Sadler's into the wall on the backstretch.
Well, that's caution number 4. Is that too much loud pedal?
Yeah, the back end just stepped right out on him. Around she went, and he wastes absolutely no time towing that car to get it off track.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And
number 4.
Sadler has immediately just put it on the hauler. Well, shoot.
That man cannot get a good race, can he?
He cannot catch a break here in the Sunday night Fever NASCAR series. And, you really got to feel for him, because he knows how to drive a race car. It's just the fact that
Yeah.
when you come into the simulators like this, instead of having the feel this is going to sound crass the way I'm going to say it, but instead of having the feel in your butt cheeks of what the car is doing, you have to rely solely on the feedback from the steering wheel in your hands. And, you know, for a lot of people that have come over from the real world of racing, it can be a little bit of a struggle at times to, you know, get that force feedback dialed in properly so that you can catch, you know, those maneuvers quickly enough. So, unfortunately for Sadler, his night is cut short here at Martinsville.
I'm not sure if you've seen anything of the same in oval racing, but there has been a time where some of the best sim racers have actually got into real
World's
cars.
Fastest Alien.
Yeah, World's
I
Fastest
saw
Gamer.
that documentary.
And wow, he was able to do pretty well. And
Once they got the cool suit working properly for him, he was able to do very well in I believe it was either a Formula Saab or a Skip Barber Formula Mazda. I forget which one they put him in, but once it was, I know it was at Road Atlanta, and it was like
I was thinking something completely different. So 2 examples there.
Well, no, they did a documentary on this kid probably 7 years ago now, and he'd never driven. He doesn't have his license in the real world, but they flew him over from Sweden to Road Atlanta, put him in a car, and you know he had driven so many laps in the simulator at that track that he didn't have to adjust to the track. He had to adjust to the feel that he was getting.
Yeah,
because it was different between having it in your butt cheeks and, you know, your body than it is just having it in your hands. So as the pace car peels on off, here we go again. We've got an Al Penske front row and a Joe Gibbs Racing second row as the green flag comes back out. A little bit better start that time for Weigert, as now he's got Worrell working his inside right now, trying to rule second place away from him. As Worrell in that DeWalt Tools Toyota Camry getting a great restart, slugging it out as they haul it off at turn number 4. Worrell up to second, Weigert back to third.
Yeah, and behind him, Bruce Rivers is trying to have a go at 4th place. Marcus Hagman trying to go roundly outside. Not seen that lane work too well yet, but as you said, as tyres get worn, it'll start getting better for them. But Skylar Khan's going to try and take this opportunity to look down the inside. Wilson, a little bit into the wall, but able to keep it the right way.
Absolutely, as he's got his rear mirror filled with Jalen Battle right now, as that allowed Battle to close right up on him. But Battle has to keep mindful of Chad Waller and Austin Cook that are slugging it out behind him. As it looks like Waller got into the wall off of 4.
Yeah. So Mark Hanna very wide there as well. So that's at least one position lost to Brian Chu. Ooh, very close there between Manis and Wiley.
Yeah, these guys are definitely racing it out right now, as a little bit of separation starting to form. The closest battle on track is going to be for 9th place between Waller and Cook, as Cook able to get to the inside of Waller, and from the front bumper of Cook's car and the back bumper of Waller's car, Cook has just been wearing Waller out, and finally that's the 14.
15 joined him as well.
Well, that's no bueno.
Was that a sympathy spin?
Possibly.
So, I have a feeling it's a classic case too much loud pedal for the 14, and it is.
Yep.
And 15 does exactly the same thing, but a bit harder.
Well then. And then backs up into traffic.
Yeah, Weimar actually hitting the wall. Wilson didn't make any contact with the wall, but unfortunately there was contact between the two cars in the end.
Right.
I'm just looking at this. Worrell's up 6 spots.
I'm seeing that as well, but our biggest mover right now, sitting in 14th, is the 99 Emily Urias in that Good Sam Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, now also newly one of our own as well on commentary.
Absolutely. Emily Urias and Rhea Ferris both joining the commentary teams of ESBN. And we're proud to have them both.
Yeah, I did a Formula League race commentating with Emily, and it was eventful. It was a very eventful race. Cold tires and the F1 car don't go well together.
Well, that's why they put tire warmers on those damn things.
Yeah, but when the pace car's going 70 kilometers an hour, that's what? 40?
Right around
40 miles an hour?
40, 45-ish.
Yeah. It's doing that. Whereas in real life, it's basically you think of a sports car absolutely gunning it around the track. That's what it's normally doing.
45 mile an hour.
Yeah. So they had no tire temp, and there was about 5 people who spun into the same wall at the same time, completely separately of each other.
As we've got a few people right now in the live chat, FPX Wolfgang, wonder how Urias will do. Well, there's your answer, sir, as she is currently up 12 spots from where she started. Fallen God 343 is pulling for the 14, who unfortunately just had an issue coming out of 2 to bring out this latest caution. And Matt Monanak, I'm just here for the crashes. Okay. Good to know.
Well,
so if you're playing the at-home drinking game with us.
Here we go. Great start for Chris Worrell this time around. Is the outside lane going to work for him against putting to a race from 3 wide behind him for a second there?
And it looks like Hagman getting shuffled out. But yeah, we are side by side 2 deep right now as Worrell and Brostrom slugging it out, as are Weigert and Carnes. And then behind them, you've got Rivers and Hagman going hammer and tongs.
As we're just coming across 1/5 race distance this time around.
As Worrell with a nose out front, coming off of 4, getting the better drive from that second lane. We've got a new leader. Give the lap to Worrell.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see these guys sorting this out anytime soon. It looks like those 2 lanes are basically the same pace at the moment.
Well, it kind of boils down to the latest tire model that iRacing has released, the current one that we are on. The second lane has been able to defend more effectively since this newest tire model has appeared than ever before in the iRacing servers. And the guys that don't mind going to that second lane are able to use that, as it looks like Eugene Thorne getting it wrong, coming off of 2. Whoa, there's a lot of damage on that car.
Ooh. Yeah, no, that was to do with the 42 being strewn all across the track.
Oh! And 23 just took a shot.
That was a too much loud pedal. Bang. no one else involved in that one apart from the 42 and the 23, but
Well, they almost
That's
got into
really
the 22
unfortunate.
as he was coming
Yeah.
around to catch the pace car, but man, that was a shot and a half, as we do have some takers going down pit road. Or not.
there were a few.
Joey Main's the only one actually going down.
Oh. I thought there were a few, but
Yeah, no,
I think
they've
SDK
been.
doesn't know where pit lane starts.
Now, it looks like a lot of guys were faking going down pit road there.
I have to say, unfortunately, I think my over/under isn't going to go very well. We're on 6.
Well, you bet the under, didn't you?
Yeah.
So let us know what you're pulling for, because Rhea Ferris put the number at 15. 15 being the number of cautions before we went into qualifying. Are you betting the over, the under, or the exacta, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know in the live chat which one you're taking on that one. I unfortunately bet the over, and I hope I'm wrong. This is the first time I really hope that I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong as well, but now that people have had time to decide, would you like to know, if it keeps going at this pace, the cautions I mean, how many do you think we're on?
We're already on caution number 5, aren't we? Or 6?
6.
So 6 cautions every 50 laps. We're on pace for 30.
Yeah. My number was about, 20, 27, 28-ish.
Which will be a new record if we get there.
It would be, but it's not one you really want to break.
No, it's not. Because the last time we did this, and it turned into a caution fest, we announcers actually started playing the at-home drinking game. So,
yeah, pace car comes down pit road once again. And we'll see who gets the better of the green flag.
Worrell with another perfectly timed start. Hangs on there. Brostrom and Worrell slugging it out right now. Brostrom going to be able to lay the power down a little more effectively, as that inside lane does have more usable rubber laid down. Now the question is, how many of these guys have heat cycled their tires properly, as we've got a little bit of a breakaway starting to form up here. It looks like an 8-car pack with Brostrom, Worrell, and there we go. Ian Humphreys.
Make that 7. .34 was really wide on that turn as well. Start with an ooh.
Yeah, that
Ian
started with
Humphreys
Humphreys
being
getting run over by the 15,
yeah.
and then just stacked him up behind him like cordwood.
What happened there? Yeah. People had no time to react realistically.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 48 of J.D. Banner involved, the 00 of Emil Frigil involved, and Emily, I do apologize if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. Feel free to throat punch me after the race is over.
Well, I guess we will find out at some point. But
and luckily, you can't see the in-sim chatter that I'm seeing right now. Is one of the drivers using a line from the movie Days of Thunder? It's like a monkey effing a football out here.
so not particularly pleased then.
No.
No. well, let's focus on some drivers that might be a bit more pleased.
Oh, absolutely.
this
Bria
point,
Ferris
with-
up 13 from where she started. Robert Rose up 12. Emily Urias is up 12. Chris Worrell's up 6. Austin Cook's up 9. So it is possible to pass cleanly here. It's just you've got to, keep one eye on what's going on in front of you and one eye what's going on behind you, so you don't get run over from either direction.
You need one eye to the left and one eye to the right.
And let the third eye be blind.
Something.
That's a 90s music reference, sir.
Unfortunately, then it falls on blind ears.
Well, no, there was a band in the 90s called Third Eye Blind.
Okay.
As field looking like it's getting ready to double up here, as we should see lights out on the pace car this time by. Brostrom has led all but a couple of laps so far. Chris Worrell is really taking it to him in that Joe Gibbs Racing number 20. As there goes the lights on the pace car. Here goes the field doubling up. Brostrom, Worrell, Waggart, Carnes, Cook, Rivers, Hagman, Waller, Chu, and Battle rounding out your top 10 as we are getting ready to turn them back loose under Anger. Working lap 64 currently. Restart on lap 65 of 250. And pretty much not many people have come down pit road yet, as green flag is in the flagger's hand. Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is flying, and we are back underway. A little bit of a jumbled start there at the front. That's going to let the 47 of Carnes, I'm sorry, that's a 43 of Cook, get down to that inside lane, as Bruce Rivers in the 19 not getting the restart he was hoping for, as right now the slugfest is really at the front of this piece, as Waggart was giving Worrell all he could handle, trying to get second place away from him. A little bit further back, though, Rivers and Cook going hammer and tongs right now for the 5th spot.
Yeah, I think didn't go exactly as Waggart would have wanted it to, but he still kept that 3rd spot. Look at Cook and Rivers right now. Rivers trying his hardest to get that 5th spot away, but Cook is holding the outside lane really nicely and just manages to keep that position.
Absolutely wrestles it away. As I'm looking back in the pack right now, that's
Good wall tap for him,
Double 0 slugging it out with a lap car. And that's the 41 of Bob Wyckoff getting by the 00 of Fagrell. As now they get that one all sorted out. Looking a little further forward, got a 3-way tango going on between Jalen Battle, Isaac Wilson, and Mark Hanna. Hanna finally getting some little bit of freeness going on there. I'm not sure what the caution's for.
I'm showing Dave Holmberg has crashed. Ooh, straight into the 6.
Okay then.
Directly into the quarter panel of John Hopley.
Gets into Hopley, and then the 41 of Wyckoff nowhere to go, as he chose wrong.
Yep. Austin Cook fitting in.
So that gives us caution number 8. And Austin Cook, the first one of the lead lap cars to bring it down pit road.
Yeah, at least for the scheduled stop. Yep, tires as well.
As you would expect.
Yep.
And I take that back. We did see a couple other cars already come down pit road to get some services done. Joey Mans and Robert Rowe have come down for foreign fuel.
Also getting a bit of repairs done as well by the looks.
As you would do under a caution.
He's disappeared.
Disappeared.
He's back in now, I think. Nope, disappeared again.
Austin Cook has put it on the hauler.
Oh. Well, that's not a pit stop.
Not in the classical sense of the word.
Well, I mean, he did do the stop.
Yeah, and then they just decided to call it a night.
Just the go part wasn't quite there afterwards.
Well, I mean, with as much damage as he had on that car, he was starting to have to be careful of the overheating that was inevitable to happen there. As
he was running in an alright spot, though, I think.
Yeah, he was, but again, we don't know how badly that car was really starting to overheat. And once your temperatures creep up north of 210, it's only a matter of time before you hand grenade that engine, scatter the connecting rods all over the track.
I mean, it could have been the case that he went into the pits wanting to do a pit stop, saw damage of like 5 minutes or something, and then decided, you know what, nah.
That's a distinct possibility. As they did just extend the caution one more lap.
Because I think
Just
that's the trouble when you have damage somewhere like Martinsville, obviously just over half a mile. If you've got even 2 minutes of damage, you're going down
5 laps.
4, yeah.
You figure that, these cats are ripping it around here at a 19.5 pace. You're looking at least 5 laps that you're going down, possibly more, depending on, what your pit road speeds are. As the pace car does peel off, let's see what type of restarts we can get here. We got the two Penske cars lined up stem to stern on the inside. Green flag comes back out, and we are back underway. Worrell gets a great restart that time.
Yeah, he's already got the lead, but Brostrom's going to try and challenge that back. Well, he's not going to be on the inside for 3.
A little bit of a tail wiggle for the 19 on the back straightaway. That's costing Rivers a little bit of momentum. As Hagman eats the wall coming off a 4.
Absolutely not what you want is major battle in here back for about 7th place. As Hagman and Wilson going side by side. Maybe a bit of contact between those two. Into 3. Hagman close to the wall once again.
Wilson given a little bit of a scare to the 5. That's going to let the 24 and the 7 get to Hagman, as Hannah working the inside right now on the number 5. This is your closest battle on track. Hannah on the low side, Hagman on the high side, as looks like Hagman going to finally file back into line, as right now battle in the 24, giving Isaac Wilson all he can handle, as they are slugging it out for the number 7 spot.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what type of moves these guys are trying to go for, to be honest, because obviously this is extremely hard to pass someone.
Well, it depends on. I mean, you got to set someone up for the pass. You can't just
Yeah.
throw it in there and hope it's going to stick, because guess what? It's not. So the fact that these guys are going as hard as they are right now, working lap 82, starting lap 83 of 250, and the fact that most of these guys haven't been down pit road for fresh tires. Yikes.
Yeah.
Looks like Wilson got into the wall off of 2, almost got into Battle. Battle now able to get some momentum on that low side, as Wilson's still flirting with disaster on the high side every time he comes off the corner. Sideways for Wilson. That's going to let the 7 get to him, and around she goes.
Ouch for the number 8 into the back of the 7. Look at that replay.
And it started with the 14 getting a little bit loose,
Yeah,
and the
I think
7 of Hannah
comes-
just finished him off. And then
maybe
Hannah
14
eats the
comes
inside
down a
wall.
little bit.
Hagman eats the 14, and the 8 eats the 7.
I think they 14 and the 7 just came into each other a bit there, and we are seeing fairly wholesale pit stops now, but not everyone.
Looks like the Joe Gibbs racing cars are all staying out. Jalen Battle stays out. Rhea Ferris staying out.
Very Swedish pit lane at the moment.
It's a very Swedish pit lane at the moment. Both of the Brostroms, Jason Ricketts, Chad Waller, Isaac Wilson joining them. Skylar Carnes in pit. So that's going to be a big shuffle up. Emily Urias going pit side. So Worrell going to take over the lead as Rivers, Battle, Chu, Hannah, Ferris, Rowe, Banner, Wimmer, Castle, and Holmberg all electing to stay out.
DeWalt 1-2. At the moment.
I just noticed that myself.
Try and come up with a tool-based pun, but I'm not having much luck at the moment.
Please don't. But all 3 of the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota Camrys in the top 4 right now. Jalen Battle being the only one not part of that team, as he's driving the Hendrick Motorsports number 24. So 3 Toyotas and 2 Chevys in the top 5 as Hannah grabbing that last spot in the top 5. But Rhea Ferris and Robert Rowe both up 24 positions from where they both started. Hannah's up 11. JB Banner currently sitting in 8th, is up 15. And Banner has not had the best luck since moving over to the 48.
Yeah.
But it's good to see him having a decent run here tonight, as he'll freely admit, and I've spoken to him about this in the past, he's not a big fan of the paperclip.
To be honest, I can see why. It's I can imagine it's a bit of a Marmite track. I love it, you hate it.
Yeah, that'd be the best way to put it for our non-American friends. And for those of you over here in the States, it'd be like eating a fig cookie. Either you love it or you hate it.
I was sure there'd be an equivalent.
And that would be the fig cookie, like Fig Newtons or whatever you want to call them. It's the closest thing we have because good luck finding Marmite over here in the States.
We'll be finding
So-
a restart.
We're absolutely finding a restart. We've got those two DeWalt Toyotas at the front of this piece. Here comes Jalen Battle to the inside of Bruce Rivers. As Rivers working that second lane, we've seen him a little more comfortable.
bit of
Battle
contact.
gets into his door coming off of 4. Rustles the spot away. Now sets the sights and trying to reel in race leader Chris Worrell, who's a half a second ahead. A little bit of a battle back in the field with the 48 of JB Banner as he's working the outside of the 2 of Weigert. And Weigert, again, on those fresh tires, making the pass look just that simple. Able to really lay the power down. As Rhea Ferris into the wall off the 2.
I was going to say, these cars that have pitted are absolutely just cutting through the traffic. Well, as much as you can at this track, cutting through the traffic like a whole knife in butter.
Grostrom working the backside of Hanna right now as he's trying to reel his way back towards the front of this piece. Chris Worrell has just stepped out at the front. And we're back under caution.
Let's have a look here.
John Hopley. And he had a lot of help from the 8 there going into 3.
We got run over again.
That would be the best way to put that one. So the big question is, who of the lead lap cars that haven't come down pit road are going to do so this time? It looks like nobody. Oh, Rhea Ferris. So she's going to relinquish 9th to go down pit road to get her first fresh set of tires. As Worrell,
surprising.
Battle, Rivers, and Chu and Hanna all stay out.
A bit surprising to see our top 5 actually staying out, to be honest. I'm trying to save a set for towards the end for when everything really matters.
Well, that would make the most sense, you know, stay out on this set as long as you can. The fact that we're almost at the century mark, though, you can thank all the cautions for that, being as they only have a 65% fuel fill. The equivalent to that would be take a basketball and inflate it in your fuel tank of your passenger car, and that's about, and then fill the tank. That's about all these guys and gals are having in their fuel tanks right now. So the fact that they are able to, get almost 100 laps on a tank and go fast, pretty impressive.
Yeah. Although for a decent chunk of the race, it has been
Behind the safety car.
the tank go slow.
Yeah, they've just kind of been idling around this place.
So you're over under. I think you're gonna be.
We're at 10 right now, aren't we?
Yeah, I know you don't want to be right, but
I really don't want to be right.
unless we get a magical 100-lap green flag run, please.
Fingers crossed
If
that
you
we
could,
do.
that would be lovely.
But, before the race started, we did talk to Johnny Castle, one of the hometown heroes. currently sitting up 5 spots from where he started, so fingers crossed the announcer's curse doesn't rear its ugly head here, but currently sitting +4 in the 19th spot. As the pace car peels on off, Worrell and Battle going to lead them back to the green. And Worrell on the concrete, Battle on the blacktop. As they come off of turn number 4, everybody gets pointed in the right direction. And the 2 DeWalt cars teaming up and ganging up on Rivers as on Battle as Worrell and Rivers able to make it happen. But they're going to have to get this one sorted out pretty quick behind them. Battle's Hannah and Karn right there, all having to look at the rearview mirror, and they see that yellow 22 of Brostrom as he is on the freshest tires in the top 5 right now, and we're back under caution.
Yeah, well, for a minute there, Karns was leading the charge of the ones who had pitted. So, oh dear. Unfortunate to get involved in that one. That really wasn't his or the 78's make.
No, they got hip checked by Rhea Ferris coming off of 4. And wow. Dave Holmberg just got the Dairy Queen Award.
Oh.
Yep.
They are running a higher incident limit than normal. 21x as maximum incident limit for this time around. But obviously, with this being... let me just change my count. Caution number 11. That's got to have quite a few X attached to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose a strange plus side that we can see out of this is as the race goes on, there may be less cautions. But it has the unfortunate consequence of having less people on track.
Right. So Holmberg, the first one to catch the Dairy Queen Award, as looks like the Toyotas have come down to get their service done, and that's going to drop Worrell, Thorne, Rivers, Battle, Hannah, and Chu back to just inside the top 20 as Carnes, Brostrom, Weigert, Hagman, Wilson, Wimmer, Waller, Bjorn Brostrom, Jason Ricketts, Ian Humphreys, Emily Urias all staying out. And so, Jason, we're just past the century mark here. And, it's typical Martinsville. It's, it's beating and banging and, with the cool conditions that they're experiencing, I don't think anybody was really prepared for this track being as cool as it is. As I'm taking a quick look at the weather right now. 64 degree ambient air temperature, 66 degree track temperature. Now, for those of you over on your side of the pond, current track temperature is 18.5.
Yeah, quite cold for a track then still, but green flag waving in the air. Here we go again. Looks like a pretty good start for Hagman, but he's running very, very, very wide through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think he just blew his braking zone as he drops 2 spots there. Carnes able to wrestle the lead away from Brostrom as Carnes with the Ford, or with the Chevy, has those 3 Fords in tow right now of Brostrom, Weigert, and Isaac Wilson.
And Burrell and Rivers there just making their way past the 9 of Jason Ricketts, trying to move their way back up towards the front. Obviously got slightly better tyres, but it's really not going to be that bad of a difference, I think, at least tyre-wise. At least it shouldn't be.
Battle for the lead as Brostrom goes to the inside of Carnes, coming off of turn number 4. And you got to wonder how hard is Carnes going to battle, knowing that and contact. A little bit of a bump and run there from Brostrom on Carnes, as Carnes now has to deal with the deuce of Weigert coming off of turn number 4 again. Just good, hard, clean racing here at the front of this piece. Weigert gets to the door, drag race down the back, straight away they go. Carnes on the high side, Weigert on the low side. Weigert with the nose out front. Carnes going to relinquish the spot, maintain a podium right now as they've got a little bit of separation. Battles back, does the crossover down the front straightaway, as that's Weigert on the high side, Carnes on the low side this time. This time Weigert cuts off the inside, making sure that Carnes can't get there. A little bit of tail happiness out of those top 3 cars, as behind him it's a 3-car tango between Wilson, Worrell, and Hagman. Worrell already back into the top 5 after pitting from the lead.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back, I don't think Carnes could be too angry about that one against Brostrom. Oh, that was very aggressive.
Wilson looks like he may have bounced off the wall coming off of 4. That let Worrell get by him, and now he's got to deal with the 5 of Hagman. As Hagman has to deal with the 19 of Rivers, and we're back under caution. Boy.
Worrell may have got past, but I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure his fire suit's the same color as it was before.
No, probably not. And there are no dry cleaners in the village of Martinsville, as Rhea Ferris coming off a 2, just unfortunately the back end steps out on her.
Something looked like it nearly happened behind her as well. Johnny Carson actually got onto the curbing in the grass a bit. That was just a bit of a hold-up, but luckily that didn't cause anything.
Yeah, he caught a lot of that curbing, which shot him up the track, almost put him into the 48. But they're all able to get by relatively cleanly.
Yeah.
And apparently Jeff Wimmer said something he shouldn't have said, as the admins have just disabled his in-sim chatter. And Matthew Moniak, you are correct, sir. The 19 is having a very good run right now. That is Bruce Rivers in the Joe Gibbs Racing number 19.
Yeah.
Very solid run out of that car right now.
I was just having a look. So, for February, it's actually a fairly warm day for Martinsville.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's as cold as the simulator goes.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure that. Let me go take a quick look here. Yes, I am. It is currently 42 degrees Fahrenheit. That works out to 6 Celsius. So, yeah, it's a little chilly there. But it'd be a heat wave compared to what I'm having here up in central New York. We're at 28 with snow right now.
Yeah. I'm glad that we don't really get that often, pretty much ever in the UK.
We've had a pretty light winter, to say the least, though.
Yeah, no, we've got an extremely mild climate on both ends of the spectrum. I'm appreciative of, but back to racing as we're coming towards the green flag.
Brostrom going to have the button as the green flag comes back out, and we are back underway. Brostrom and Weigert, where they started this race is where they're running right now, first and second. Those two Penske cars now having to deal with Skylar Carnes in the 47, as he and Weigert were just trading blows just before that caution came out. Weigert able to drive it in just a little bit deeper on that second lane than the 47 is right now, as Weigert cuts off the inside. That's going to force Carnes to the outside, and they're both going to have to be careful because they got a very hungry Chris Worrell all over the two of them right now.
Yeah, the two nearly forcing the 47 into the wall. We nearly clear, but
Oh. JB Banner having some problems.
12?
That's what I came up with. No, this is 13.
Oh, well, I missed one at some point. Well, I missed Annie. 3 just running straight into the 21. No, then I'm getting caught in that as well.
All right, then.
We're so close to the 9 not being caught up in that.
You know, Brian Chu caught a piece of it as well. It looks like Ricketts got just run over from behind. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
As the 21 got punted, the 9 was in front of him, and unfortunately the 9 a recipient of a Spanish Archer as well. I believe the kids call that getting yeeted.
That would be correct.
A lot of damage already on the 9, so that's definitely not going to help matters.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I mean, anyone out here without damage is lucky at the moment.
You are correct, sir. I think currently the only clean cars are pretty much the ones in the top 6.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And, you know, Brostrom's paint scheme just looks a little bit dirty with the tire rubber that's on it. Same thing for Weigert, Carnes, Worrell, Hagman, and Rivers. Isaac Wilson in the 24 has a little bit of body damage, but nothing so major that it should affect that car dramatically. It's Marshall Harris deciding to finally put it on the hauler.
Do we want a fun game for the viewers at home? Fun guessing game with a bit of trivia.
Sure.
So, who has the most laps completed in the NASCAR Cup Series at Martinsville, and how many?
The most laps or the most wins?
most laps.
Ah. Okay, I know this one.
Good luck. Cheeky bit of contact between the 20 and the 2 as they go towards the green flag. But, two, like it really not reacting very quickly.
Yeah, Larger kind of asleep at the switch there.
Yeah, bit of a checkup train behind him then, but all alright in the end. Agnew trying to get down the inside of the 19.
Actually, that was Worrell that didn't get the good restart.
Okay.
Because he's actually fallen behind Rivers. The only way you can really differentiate those two cars is Worrell has the little graphic right behind the number on the doors.
The blue.
Yeah. Well, he's got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That blue star pattern there. That's really the only way you can differentiate which car is which, other than catching the numbers. So if you can't catch which number's which, just look for that.
I like that. That's a nice pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a nod to the last time. Oh wow, it is the last time that Matt Kenseth drove that car. And we all remember what happened the last time Matt Kenseth was at Martinsville in that car. Heads up, Joey Logano.
Well, those two are side by side now, but I think Rivers deciding not to contest that one.
Yeah, they're coming up on the heavily damaged Johnny Castle. Looks like Castle's bringing that one back pit side, as is the 41 of Wyckoff. But Linus Brostrom right now showing the way, about 3 car lengths to the good over second place Skylar Carnes. Now Carnes is up 4 from where he started, and we are back under caution. And the double zero getting involved in that one. She had a lot of help.
I may be experiencing a game crash.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, everyone's frozen in place. I'm just going to take the opportunity to quit and rejoin.
All right. Well, for those of you wondering what brought that caution out, the 17 tried to get to the inside of the double zero, and unfortunately, I don't think the double zero spotter picked it up quick enough, and Emily Fergrell just unfortunately along for the ride at that point, as the car was pointed completely perpendicular to what the racing line was. It did bring out caution number 14.
Yeah, so apologies for the black screen. Hopefully I'm back in time for the restart, but it's a small track, so it should load pretty quickly.
And while we are taking this moment to restart the server, the trivia question for tonight: who has the most laps completed at Martinsville?
Yeah, and your add-on, how many?
And the
I
bonus
I was not
points,
expecting that number.
Well, once we give the answer, I'll explain why that number is the way that it is. As the field forming up behind the pace car, working lap 138 of 250. again,
We're
Linus
back.
Brostrom going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. That's his fiance directly in front of him. As soon as Jason's back into the sim, we can see this.
I am.
Well, that is his fiance's very wounded 00 in front of our points leader, Linus Brostrom. But yeah, Jason, to answer your question is without giving this answer away to our fans. The reason why that number is so high is the length of the career.
Yeah, no, I noticed that's yeah.
Right. And this field's starting to form up behind the pace car. Pace car is in. Brostrom and Carnes going to lead them back to the green as they work their way off at turn number 4. Brostrom, Carnes, Weigert, and Worrell, your top 4 right now as the green flag comes back out. Carnes spins the tires a little bit, trying to get a good jump as Brostrom able to make it work on the low side. Still side by side behind him between Weigert and Worrell. Worrell right now working on the backside of Carnes and there it is. Johnny Castle in the 34, unfortunately.
Take a quick look at that one.
Oi! He caught the end of that one as it started with the 3. The 3 comes all the way across the track, and unfortunately, it looks like Castle got a Dairy Queen award.
Oh dear. So the 3 got
yeeted by the 17.
Yeah, 23 got a bit of it. 34, yeah.
No, that started with the 3 just getting yeeted by the 17.
Yeah.
And Castle, unfortunately, nowhere to go as Rowe just shot across the track. 0 Fs given, and just like that, unfortunately, that's going to be the night for Johnny Castle.
Yeah, unfortunately that'll do it. And, well, that's the second one that at least we've noticed.
Well, we'll get the breakdown of who received free ice cream cakes from Dairy Queen at the end of this event.
Yeah.
As you know, I'll be able to double check what the incident count was for the entirety of the field. But who's looking good right now is at the front of this field. Brostrom, Carnes, Weigert, Worrell, Rivers, Hagman, all relatively clean. Just a little bit of slight touching. Not necessarily a clean race, but maybe only a couple of incidents. But then behind them, there's cars that look like they've been through a war. As the 14 of Wilson has a lot of damage. The 38 of Waller has a lot of damage. Jalen Battle has caught some pieces in the 24. So
for my over-under to be correct, I need there to be no more cautions till the end of the race.
that was number 14.
Doable, yes? No.
No. Far from it. But still waiting for an answer on tonight's trivia question. And again, who has the most laps completed here at Martinsville, and how many? Lights should be going out on the pace car this time by.
I guess number of laps very much so helped by long career and the fact that, if I'm correct, Martinsville has been in NASCAR since it started.
It was one of the original OG tracks, yeah.
Probably not too many with that title.
I think Darlington's the only other one left. Because Richmond, they used to run at the Richmond Fairgrounds. They no longer, that track's no longer at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, well, after the restart, still side by side up at the front. In very deep from Brostrom to get first place uncontested for now.
Battle for second now, hot and heavy between Weigert and Carnes. Almost contact through turns 1 and 2. Carnes a little bit tail happy through 3 and 4. That was something to be mindful of, as these guys are running stem to stern right now. A little bit of breakaway at the 14. Front.
That's. I think they've all held it together. Yeah, now 7 got into the rear left quarter panel of the 14.
He's going to drop the 14 back to 10th as he's now working on the 99 at Uri.
Yeah, well, after a bit of pinball, 14 held it all together. No one collected, but looking forward, battle for second place still going on. Weigert and Carnes. Weigert wrestling that place back.
They got to be careful because you know Chris Worrell is right there, getting ready to throw his hat into the ring for that little battle. As the battle, speaking of battle, it rages on behind him. As now Battle working the inside of Urias. Urias goes wide, gives plenty of room. She's going to lose 2 here to both Battle and Wimmer. As, hats off to...
Oh, Carnes is around.
Oh, boy.
Didn't get into anyone else.
That's what we've kind of seen all night long. His issues coming off of 2. He may have had a little bit of help there.
Yeah, I think he did. I just caught the end of it. Yep, 20 just trying to stick a nose where a nose did not quite fit. Coming off of 2.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen. As looks like Robert Rowe has decided to put it on the hauler.
Yeah, Carnes now coming into the pits.
Well, I mean, that would be a good time just, to come on, put a fresh set of tires on, and because he was a little tail happy trying to put the throttle down for the last handful of laps. So Carnes is in. Brian Chu is in. Emily Frogrell is in. And then we've got a few that have been on pit road for extended periods of time. John Hopley for the last 31 minutes. Clarence Prince has been on for the last 11 minutes. And it looks like Eugene Thorne has been on for the last 7.5 minutes. So if you're just joining us, you're watching the iSNF Cup Series from Martinsville. Jason Salford, Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight as we're bringing you all the action live and in living color. And again, thoughts and prayers going out to the family of Travis Eccles, normally driving the 43. As unfortunately we lost Travis's father yesterday morning actually. So thoughts and prayers going out to the entire Eccles family as they unfortunately are now missing their patriarch. But we are currently at Martinsville, inside 100 to go. As taking a quick rundown of the field right now, I'm looking at Emily Urias, who's up 16 from where she started. Rhea Ferris, who unfortunately did not post a clean time in qualifying, is up 17 from where she started. Mark Hanna in the 7 is up 10 from where he started. Ian Humphreys is up 11, as is Gene Duda, who Gene did not post a time in qualifying either, as Linus Brostrom electing to take the outside lane on the restart this time.
Interesting. That's first time of 15, right?
That is the first time, and if you bet 15 on the exacta, you're probably going to lose, as the 2 spins the tires. Both those DeWalt Toyotas capitalize on it, as right now that's Worrell on the inside of Weggert, as they are slugging it out for third place right now, as Worrell's teammate Rivers is trying to figure out what he's got to do to get by Linus Brostrom. They are still side by side for second.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to do to try and get past Linus Brostrom, and they're never guaranteed to work. But Worrell and Weggert have sorted it out for now. Worrell winning out.
No, it's Weggert winning out. Oh, Worrell and Weggert, yeah. Rivers sitting in second right now, so those 2 DeWalt cars running stem to stern right behind that Shell Pennzoil 22 of Brostrom. Brostrom starting to pull a gap right now on the 19, as Rivers is going to yield way to his teammate. Bounces off the wall off a 2 and almost gets into the deuce of Weggert.
Oh, very loose.
And we've got caution behind him. Looks like Emily Urias in the 99.
She was having a really good run.
Just drove it in way too deep going into 3, and unfortunately the back end stepped out on her. Everybody doing a great job to avoid, and just as I say that, the 17 hit her. So unfortunately, due to not able to get it locked down in time, hopefully no major damage to the 99 Urias, as she did take a shot in the left front.
Well, I have to say that's the first caution we've seen by someone running it in too deep and not into someone else. Just
True
spinning
story.
it.
You are absolutely correct.
So
And
slightly refreshing for our 16th caution, but unfortunately my over-under is now gone, as it's Rhea's.
absolutely. As Noah Tasman, what happened to the fired up esports team? Noah, I think you're in the wrong league, bud. I know those guys run
Stream.
in the sorry?
Stream, not team.
Oh, stream. I have absolutely no idea what happened to their stream. The only thing I can figure out is there's a good possibility that the drivers got DQ'd and just left the server.
Yeah, don't know.
But we thank you for joining us here on the Esports Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, and if
What
you're,
happened to the 19?
Good question.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
I'm just looking. Oh, I think just at the same time. Yeah, at the same time as the other.
He had help doing in 1 and 2.
Oh, 21 and 14 and the 31. Oh, 14 is gone. Oh, the
Yes,
17 hit that one as well. Oh,
17
dear.
and a 14, both getting the Dairy Queen award.
Well, unfortunately, a 17 picking up what I'm assuming is 8x on the same lap.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, he did hit both incidents.
Correct. Chris Worrell making the comment that he feels like he's in the middle of a smorgasbord right now, as he's got Brostrom, Hagman, and Weigert all around him. Great restart for the 20 that time. Did not spin the tires and was able to wrestle the lead away going into 1. Wow.
What was that in the wall? The 38 Chad Waller has been
Dairy Queen.
no, eating the wall all the way down the backstretch. Oh, and now there you go. Gone now.
Something just happened to Brostrom as he went real wide going through 3 and 4 and unfortunately caught the wall. So a little bit of damage on the right front of the 22 now. That's going to drop him back to 4th. That's the lowest he's run since that green flag pit stop deal was going on. Or since the last pit stop cycle happened, I should say.
Yeah.
Now you got Worrell showing the way, Weigert, Hagman right there with him, and you've got a pretty decent-sized gap back to Brostrom, 2.5 as he's now throwing hands with Jalen Battle. Battle putting the 24 to the inside. Brostrom has lost a ton of speed as here comes Skylar Carnes to the inside as well. Brostrom now limping the 22 around the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's still a loss of speed or if there's some sustained damage on that. It doesn't look bad.
No, let me double check something here.
At least I can't really.
Yeah,
see
he's
much.
left hand down right now. So we've got a camera GoPro on his helmet, and you can see where the steering wheel is on the straightaways. If you want to go to cockpit, is the way it's labeled, Jason.
Let's see. Yeah.
You can see that he's left hand down where that orange stripe is. So he has knocked the toe out of that car, which is one of the biggest reasons why he's not showing the speed that he was showing.
I hate to break it to you, but everyone is.
Oh! Something just happened on the back straightaway. That was the 1 and the 48 going ham. JB Banner and Tomlinson getting into it.
Get a replay of that in the next caution, I reckon.
Looks like Tomlinson may have caught the curbing going into 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that just shot him up the track. And as he tried to get back in line, bounces off the safer barrier and just eats the 1 and immediately tows. And unfortunately, Casey Tomlinson in pit road right now. Not a happy camper.
One of our hometown heroes.
And if Tomlinson can get back out there, he shouldn't lose too many spots, as he did have a decent gap on the 14. But Tomlinson up 10. You know, and he was running. He had a strong run going on the lead lap. And, JB Banner's computer just died.
Oh.
Because he just had a throughput.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's a no good.
But,
As Worrell and Weigert at the front of this piece as they work their way around the wounded lap car of Emily Urias. They have a major gap going back to third place Skylar Carnes, as you're almost a second and a half from Weigert to Carnes.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the rest of the hometown heroes we have, and I think, unfortunately, that's been a curse more than a blessing here. With them either being out, laps down, or not here.
Well,
in all cases.
That's no bueno.
No bueno, indeed. But I think things are pretty bueno for Chris Worrell at the moment in the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Is one of the fresher faces here in the iSNF. And if you're wondering why they would recognize that name, I think if we put a number 6 on the door and painted it red and white and ran it on a Monday night, you'd recognize that car a lot better, as that is the same Chris Worrell that runs with the iRacing East series. And looks like Tom Stanley.
Let's have a look.
Ooh, it's a little too much of the go fast pedal for the pit boss ride there. The pit boss Ford Mustang coming off of turn number 4, just a little too throttle happy.
Seen that a few times.
Yeah.
So, wholesale pit stops as well. Brian Chu opting not to, as he came down about 30 laps ago. Jeff Weimer came down 19 laps ago, or 21. 21. That's supposedly my strong point.
So this should be the money stop for those guys that are pitting right now.
Yeah. And crucially, if they want it, they will have another set of tires. Skylar Khan's actually winning the battle off pit road. Did he only take fuel and 2?
That's what it looks like.
But
yeah, fuel and 2.
Gonna have a look at what happened to JB Banner before his throughput.
He caught the curbing and then the car just shot up and then.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I'll have to reverse that one. It didn't give me enough.
Yeah, he caught the curbing on the inside of turn 1, and the car just shot up the racetrack.
I didn't see him hit any curbing at all. It looked like a really weirdly slow crash as well.
No, I think he might have been starting to feel the lag at that point.
Yeah,
and he was trying to just maneuver the car to wherever he could to hopefully get it out of the way, and unfortunately, he got into the one of Casey Tomlinson.
Yeah, I guess. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes with lag. Luckily, I don't experience it too much, but I know when my internet does go out, it goes.
It's a little thing of note right now. We've got the two NOS Energy Chevy Camaros going to be starting stem to stern. As that is Jeff Wimmer's 15 in front of his teammates, number 47. Off of turn number 4 they go. Chu has the button. We are back underway as, oh, there it goes.
Did the 15 spin up his tires?
That's what it looked like.
Looked pretty much like that from my perspective.
That's exactly what happened, and he went to go throw the block on the 47 and just blackjack, everybody lose.
Oh.
The one you got to feel sorry for is the 2 of Alexander Weigert.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had absolutely nowhere to go.
I believe
Race
all that
harder to
Urias DQ as well, I think.
Oh yeah. You are correct, sir.
There's a surprising number of times where I don't want to be correct while commentating. It's unfortunate when you're having a pretty good, well, a pretty good run position-wise. She wasn't on the lead lap, but up 10.
Yeah, no, she had a great run going. It's just,
Yeah.
you know.
Actually, I don't think she's going to lose that many positions. There weren't too many people behind her actually running.
There's 3, and only 2 can catch her.
Wega understandably into the pits.
Absolutely, as you would do. He caught a race car to the face. Good news if you're a Casey Tomlinson fan. He did get one of his laps back for avoiding that wreck. He got the lucky pass.
Good news for him then.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull this up and see who we can possibly talk to. And why do I not see anyone? I don't see anyone in the chats right now.
Also, I've been looking through Wikipedia on some of our cautions, and you're gonna have to explain to me how in the 60s you're able to get 42,000 points.
Well, in the early days of NASCAR, it wasn't just a Sunday only deal.
Yeah.
They would run Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes 2 shows on Saturday.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the one win that Wendell Scott has, that was a dirt track race on a Wednesday night. You know, so the Cup Series was there was a lot more going on than just one race a week in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
And you know, it was also one of those deals where there were so many more tracks and different types of tracks that they ran on. You know, back in the 60s, they would run at Bowman Gray Stadium on a regular basis, which Bowman Gray Stadium is the size of an Olympic running track. It's a quarter mile around that place.
Well, green flag, single file, understandably. As all pretty solid up front. Rhea Ferris sneaking into the lead. Oh, being shoved forward by Chris Worrell. Hagman's going to try and sneak one down the inside, but only gets it on Brian Chu as Linus Broström is going to try and follow.
Absolutely, is
Rita's
Chu
going to get herself
not
some bonus
having
points.
a good time. Absolutely. Chu not having a good time of it right now as Worrell works his inside of that is Ferris, who's starting to hemorrhage spots now. And you see a lot of front end damage on the Menards number 12. She's able to slot in front of Brian Chu. And her drinking partner last week, I might add.
Yeah.
As they were hanging out at Daytona International in the infield. You could see them on some of the blimp cameras. They were waving.
Brian Chu from Florida, so
absolutely.
I'm assuming it wasn't too far of a trek for him to get to Daytona.
No, not at all. But they had his RV or caravan, as you would refer to them over there. As Worrell shows the way over Hagman right now. Now, he's already gotten his first pole since joining the league. Are we going to see the rookie get his first win here tonight at Martinsville as we are inside 50 to go? Worrell, Hagman, Broström battle. Chu, Ferris, Humphreys, Broström, and Waller and Hanna rounding out your top 10.
Big send from the 7.
Shocker. It's all he's done all night long is do a big send. How to Win Friends and Influence
12th
People
round
by Mark Nant. Oh, what the hell just happened there?
A lot of DQs. I saw at least 2.
There goes Ferris. There goes Broström. Well, shoot. Humphreys catching a piece of it.
It's telling me Weimer crashed, but it's just showing him disappearing.
Because he got the Dairy Queen.
Yeah. There's Bjorn Broström going into Ferris, then being hit by a ghost.
Probably the ghost of Ferris as she was getting sideways.
No, it was hit from behind by someone else.
So major net code for the 31 is what you're saying. Yeah, he hit Ferris, then net code ran him over from behind. So
yeah, or it was someone that I didn't get to see who got DQ'd because
I didn't see either.
21 got DQ'd.
Well, it might have been the ghost of the 21 that clobbered him because Ian Humphreys just disappeared just before Broström got nerfed. So that's a very...
No, I think there might have been minor contact with the 47 that pushed him wide, actually. I have to go back.
I didn't see anyone hit the 31 after he tagged Ferris.
No, I didn't see anyone hit him. It just looked like a ghost put him round.
Exactly.
We go back on that again. We've got some spooky business at Martinsville now.
Well, there are ghosts at Martinsville.
Well, it's been around for long enough.
As a matter of fact, one of my heroes growing up, Richie Evans out of Rome, New York, one of the all-time winningest drivers in the NASCAR Modified Series, unfortunately lost his life here back in 82. 84. And was awarded the NASCAR championship posthumously.
Well, you never like to see that.
No. But we are still waiting for an answer on our trivia question here tonight. And tonight's trivia question being, who has the most laps completed here at the Martinsville Speedway and the bonus point of how many laps?
Clue a lot.
Yeah. As the lights do go out on the pace car, Worrell and Hagman gonna lead them back to green. As Brostrom gonna line up behind Worrell. Jalen Battle gonna line up behind Hagman. Green flag comes back out, and we are back underway. Side by side go to the two Swedes for second place. Brostrom with the advantage on the pressure tires. Actually, it looks like all three of them last came down on lap 186.
Yep, true of everyone apart from Brian Chu.
Who was last down at 205.
Yep.
But Worrell setting a pace right now that you got to go through him to get the victory, as he's got about a 4-car length gap over second place. Linus Brostrom, Hagman all over his fellow Swede as they work out of turn number 2. They're starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Jalen Battle, as he's about half a second back from that battle for second place. The rest of the field pretty strung out right now.
Well, no, nearly half the top 10 is Swedish.
I just noticed that.
4 out of 10.
And 4 out of 10 would recommend. As
Only
Brian
one missing
Chu,
being Leggett.
yes, as he is currently mired back in 16th, as he just spent the last 8.5 minutes on pit road. Brian Chu trying to put those fresher tires to benefit him, as he's working the back of Bjorn Brostrom, our points leader's father, I might add. So father, son, and fiance all in the field tonight, still circulating. As Emily Fickrell currently sits in the 10th position, last car being scored on the lead lap, as Chu is now working the outside of the 31. Brostrom, though, able to send it into the corner a little bit harder than Chu was willing to go.
Yeah, so 11 can't seem to find a way around at the moment.
Yeesh!
Ooh, bit high.
Just way over sent it going into the corner, trying to figure out something on Brostrom. Did not have the brake bias dialed right to be able to pull that move off. And unfortunately, Brostrom now going to pull a gap on Chu.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the other Brostrom then, as still got Michael Hagman right behind, and Jalen Battle right behind that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a little bit of a 4-car breakaway at the front of this piece, as they've got over a second to the good over the 47 of Skylar Carnes. But the battle is really hot and heavy for that second place right now as they work their way around Casey Tomlinson. Brostrom in the 22, Hagman in the 5, as they are trying to get this one sorted out relatively quickly. Meanwhile, Chris Worrell is looking at this in his rearview mirror as he's 3/4 of a second to the good over this battle and starting to really pull a gap right now as Hagman looks to the inside, as that is the 10 that they are working around.
You know, it almost looked like for a couple of times there that Hagman was going to just catch the quarter panel of Brostrom. But he's looking down the inside. He pulls
alongside. Drag race down the front straightaway. Brostrom able to get a little bit more momentum off of before. Hagman, though, hanging tight on the inside as no quarter asked for, no quarter given right now between these two. And Jalen Battle's just sitting there going, Go ahead, crash, guys, because I'm right here and I can get by you very easily. As looks like Brostrom had a little bit of tire slip in the rear coming off of turn number 2. That's going to let Hagman wrestle that spot away. As here comes Battle now to the inside of Brostrom. Battle in the 24, Brostrom in the 22 as they work their way around the lap car. That is the 41 of Wyckoff, as immediately the 22 dropped down and let Battle go to make sure that there was no issues with that lap car.
Yeah, I've got to say, out of any pairing on this racetrack, I think I have the least doubt about Hagman and Brostrom that they're going to keep it clean, because I'm assuming that they've been racing together for quite a long time, and they'll clearly know each other very well.
Yeah, true story. But I know...
look at the lead of the 20.
Yeah, absolutely. As he has really stretched it out over a second to the good. Basically half the length of the front straightaway is what the lead is now for the rookie, Chris Worrell. And it seems so weird for me to call him that. I mean, I've seen him run for the past 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah. On
a Monday and a Friday night. As a matter of fact, we just finished up the Saturday Night League, the Resurgence, that is owned by our very own Cliff Corvo. And, Chris was one of the dominant drivers there. Here he shows up here and he's put it in the top 5 the last couple of times that he's been, or first couple of times that he's been out with this league.
Well, if you're good at one place, then you can probably be good in another league as well. And really showing that Battle looking down the inside of Hagman now, just about getting a nose in. Very loose off of the corner though, so gonna have to go back and sit behind. Hopefully, not at risk to the 22 behind him as well.
And very much so. This is our closest battle on track for second place between Hagman, Jalen Battle, and Linus Brostrom. Right now, Marcus Hagman with a little bit of an advantage, about a car length and a half over Jalen Battle, who's got about a car length and a half over Linus Brostrom. Brostrom has clinched most laps led tonight. But, we all know that as we are currently 20 to go, now that's 19 to go. The only lap that really counts is lap 250.
Yeah, absolutely. Loose again for Jalen Battle, so I think he's struggling with those rear tyres a bit, or maybe just trying to push it harder to get forward.
He's trying to get a little bit better run off the corner than he is, and he's pushing the issue a little too much, the corner exit, as Battle's starting to give a lot of ground up to Hagman, as Chris Worrell is just checked out.
Oh yeah, he's hoping for a nice clean race. It's probably more than anyone else right now.
Absolutely. As we are 16 to go, Worrell shows the way by just over a second, as he's been picking his way through the lap cars. And sometimes it's a blessing and sometimes it's a curse to be the leader, to try to pick your way through the lap cars.
Wide with a lap car. Battle taking an opportunity and absolutely seizing it there. Coming through for second place.
Wow.
That was a ballsy
move.
Yeah.
It was a major ballsy move, as now he tries to set his sights on reeling in the aforementioned Chris Worrell in the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota number 20 DeWalt, as now Hagman has to deal with his fellow countryman Linus Brostrom, as Brostrom looks to the high side. Contact between the two going into 3.
Yeah, Hagman got on the curb a bit on the entry to 3, so that set him up a bit. Unfortunately, straight into Countryman Brostrom.
Speaking of which, I would still like to point out 4 of our top 10 are all Swedish. You got Hagman currently sitting in 3rd, Brostrom in 4th. Then you have Bjorn Brostrom in 9th, and Emily Fregro in 10th. So, you know.
And here we go, side by side for the last podium position between Brostrom and Hagman. Brostrom getting past pretty cleanly, just straight through.
Absolutely. And how about the recovery drive from Skylar Carnes as he's back in the top 5?
Mark Hanna's in the pits.
I just noticed that myself. That just appeared, and I'm not sure
Fuel?
why. It would have
Surely
to be
not.
at this point. As we're 10 to go, and I'm hearing beating and banging going on in front of these guys.
I mean, we've had a lot more green flag running in this 70 or so laps from pitting. Well, would be what, 64 at the end. So
Right.
say maybe they're getting tight on fuel, but I wouldn't.
Oh, Jalen Battle just caught the wall on the front stretch.
Oh, that's not going to help his chase, of course, Chris Worrell. But you can see the gap completely diminishing. It was at about 1.5 seconds when he managed to get past Brostrom and Hagman. Now 0.7
I think a lot of that had to
second.
do with the fact that Worrell was able to get cleaner through the lap cars than the rest of them were. But now that they've got some clean track, Worrell able to chase down, or Battle able to chase down Worrell. We're 6 to go at the stripe. And the question is, did Worrell use up his tires too early? Compare their lap times, only about half a tenth off.
Well, I mean, the thing is, even if that 20 used tyres too much and 24's in a better position tyre-wise, I'd still want to be in that 20 car because you're in the lead at Martinsville.
Yeah, you can kind of dictate where things happen.
Make your car as wide as possible.
They worked their way around the very wounded Bruce Rivers. And Rivers had a great run going until he got the punt there about 4 cautions ago. As we are going to be 3 to go this coming time across the stripe. Worrell, Battle, and Brostrom in your podium positions. Hagman dropping way back off of Brostrom as the field pretty strung out right now.
Yeah.
As Worrell leads him off of turn number 4, popsicle sticks in the air. 1 mile to go for Chris Worrell. Jalen Battle doing everything he can to try to reel him in as Worrell works around the 1 of Tomlinson. White flag being shown, 1 lap to go. Battle real sideways coming off of 4 as he's running out of time and he's running out of room. As Worrell brings it into turn number 3. Battle sent it and missed. Your winner, the number 20, Chris Worrell. Jalen Battle hangs on for 2nd. Linus Brostrom hangs on for 3rd.
Well, absolute congratulations to our winner and first time winner in the iSNF Cup Series.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a fun one to get Chris talking about in this one. As we are just waiting for people to join us here in the Discord server.
And I'm looking at the chat. I call cheats with the answer that we had to the to the trivia question.
I take it we got it on the Facebook side.
No, we're only on YouTube.
Okay, let me refresh it and see what happened because I didn't see the answer.
Richard Petty is correct. 27,891 laps.
Absolutely, and the reason for that being, Richard Petty, 67 starts in what is now the Cup Series, formerly known as the Grand National Series. 67 starts in the Premier Division of NASCAR at Martinsville, and that is 100% the reason why he was able to get so many laps in. But the answer would have been the same if you had gone with my trivia question of most wins at Martinsville. Of those 67 starts, he's won 15 of them.
Now that is a record.
It absolutely is. But a little bit of trivia here. Most laps led goes to the Rainbow Warrior himself, Mr. Jeff Gordon. 3,779 laps led. That's a lot of laps.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about the most laps completed, and obviously if I divide that number by 2 for the amount of miles, granted I've only been driving on the roads for about 3 years, but that's definitely more than I've driven full stop. And that's
right
one
on
track.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Just puts into perspective how much driving they've done. Seems pretty obvious, but
absolutely.
I think at some point we'll receive Venus from his team Penske debrief.
Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting right now for everybody, to get into the Discord server, and unfortunately, nobody's here right now. Either that or my Discord. There they are. As we are going to reach out right now to the man of the hour. Didn't take you long to do this, Chris, but congratulations on your first INSF Cup Series win.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for helping me get in this league. I've had a lot of fun on these Sundays. Thanks to Rhea for letting me in and let me run full time so quick, and my teammates. Just a great race.
Well, you guys had a great run going with you and Rivers running stem to stern for the majority of this race, and unfortunately, he just got elbowed going into 1 and 2 simultaneously when there was an accident going on in 3 and 4, and just ruined his race.
I heard about that. I didn't get to see what happened yet, but there's some drama out there on the radio, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But, Chris, your JGR team, putting 3 of them on the in the top 11 tonight, with you, of course, winning, Brian Chu coming home in 7th, Bruce coming home in 11th. Talk us through the team strategy and how that worked out for you guys.
Just it's hard to have team strategy here. Mainly, trying to pin on the same laps. Like, me being up front a lot of the times. Even there at the end, I was telling them, if this thing we get a caution, even with 20 to go, I'm going to stay out. I'd like you guys to stay out with me. That way, try to make some other drivers out there stay out too, because I knew guys like Jalen and Linus and Alex and Marcus, anybody that's been up to any top 5 could have possibly taken those tires and came up there and beat me. So I was going to need some cars in between us, so I could possibly try to pull a little bit away. So other than that, and vice versa, when those guys were in front of me too, same with Brian when he started that restart, second to last restart there, and with Bruce too. So just trying to like make sure we're on the same pit strategy so it can help benefit us.
Absolutely. Well, we go from 1/2 mile to another one next week as we go to the Appalachian Trail 125 that's going to be at the Last Great Coliseum. Your thoughts going from Martinsville to Bristol next week?
Well, I'm hoping we can have less cautions because that's one of my favorite tracks, and it'd be nice to go out there and kind of pull away and maybe get a back-to-back, hopefully. But regardless, I'll be there. I'm going to run it and hopefully get the win. Tonight, this is my home track. I guess I consider Richmond my home track. Either way, Virginia. So represent VA. Sorry about that. What happened to you, Hermie? If you're listening, that sucks. But anyway, yeah, I look forward to Bristol. That should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, again, congratulations on getting your first victory here in the iSNF Cup Series on Sunday nights. Who else do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate?
Rhea for the league, you, Tony, personally for helping me get in here. I appreciate that a lot. Brian for being a good teammate, Bruce. Those guys were racing me up front, make this interesting. Had a lot of fun racing them. Jalen for scaring the pants off me, how he was coming back so quick there at the end. You, Jason, also for being part of the broadcast. My actual, outside of this league, Balls Out Racing, those teammates. James Lowe, sponsored by Jane Lowe. That's my boy. Other than that, I don't know who else to thank.
Well, you just brought up the
ESPN.
next question. You brought up the next question I was about to ask you. Is there any chance we're going to see Brian Chu rocking some Balls Guarana paint on a Friday night from now on?
We might have to get him one. We'll have to see. Brian's got to prove himself. But so far, he's been doing a pretty daggone good job. So
right.
had to let him take a sip of them balls and get up there and race with us up front, hopefully.
All right, Chris. Good luck next week at Bristol.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
So that was our winner, Chris Worrell. And Jason, I believe you've got Jalen Battle with you now.
Yeah, Jalen, hello. Do you copy?
Yep, got it, guys.
Well, congratulations on the second place. It wasn't the cleanest race for most people, but you seem to keep it out of trouble. Just let us know how it went for you.
Well, I think everyone got their feathers ruffled a bit there in this race. Definitely made a contact with a few cars. Got pushed around a little bit out there, but yeah, relatively clean for the most part. But yeah, I was just trying to survive for the first half of the race, just kind of feel out how everyone was going to race the track, and kind of feel out what was better with my car. And I couldn't really get anything on a short run for the most part. Restarts, I just always seemed to get on the outside lane, so I couldn't never really make anything up on restarts, and then trying to avoid everyone else's shenanigans. But that last run there, got some clean air, got some clean racing, and just came up one short, unfortunately. So
yeah, I mean, second place is still a good result, but I'm actually struggling for questions. It was such a race that I don't know what to ask.
I tell you what, those last few laps there, this car, just hardest thing to drive. I was talking to Chris a little bit there before you guys pulled him up, and he was like, if you had about 5 more laps, you would have got me. I'm like, if I had 5 more laps, I would have wrecked the car. Man, I almost knocked it down, hit the wall, almost hit lap cars, trying to get this thing to go straight, go a little bit faster, and So, I mean, it is what it is. I was talking to our teammate Marcus there. I was telling him that he was a little sad. He held me up a little bit, but now you got to race for it. I didn't know I had a faster car up into the end of the race, so I'll take second now.
Yeah, well, I think we're done with looking back now. Looking forward, another half mile to go to, this time at Bristol. What's your thoughts on that one?
Probably gonna be more or less the same. Gonna see the same guys up there. But everyone's a bit more angry at each other this time around. So that might be fun. Bristol was a good race for us last year into the end. But hopefully we can turn that around. I think I was leading majority of the race last race and got wrecked out at the end. But hopefully we can change that and go get a win, one more spot next time.
Yeah, and before we let you go, who do you need to thank?
Just shout out to you guys. You guys always put on a great broadcast, and then as well as Rhea and her team with the league, keeping everyone from ripping each other's heads off. And then shout out to Hendrick Motorsports and all of our friends at Trackhouse and JTG and all the Chevy guys. Always fun talking to them and having a good time during the race. So I think that's about it. So I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you and good luck.
All right, thank you.
So, Jason, we got another one in the books. Chris Worrell, in only his third start, coming home with his first victory here in the iSNF Cup Series. Jalen Battle, who, we're going to start calling Jalen Battle the closer, because he really is the Kevin Harvick of this league. Mired in the mid pack for most of the race, and at the end, there he is rocking to try to figure out how to get into victory lane, and he's nipping at the heels right now. Linus Brostrom led the most laps here tonight. So I mean, our top three, great runs out of all of them. Marcus Hagman had a good solid run. Hats off though to Bjorn Brostrom, up 10 from where he started. But he's not our biggest mover tonight. It's a tie for our biggest mover between the man we spoke to in the pre-race, Casey Tomlinson, and Rhea Ferris. So both of those drivers up 15 from where they started. So two drivers of the night tonight, moving up 15 from where they started. Tomlinson coming home in 13th. Ferris getting a top 15 after having a lot of carnage going on around her. So hats off to both of them for making the most of situations tonight and gaining so many spots. The only other one to mention of note, Bob Wyckoff, didn't have the night he was really hoping for, but up 11 from where he started. So some great racing throughout. Once we got a lot of the hotheads taken care of, and as the field started to thin out after, I'm looking at quite a few Dairy Queen awards right now. Holy cow. Rob Rowe catching the Dairy Queen. Jason Ricketts catching a Dairy Queen. Rhea, unfortunately, caught a Dairy Queen. Isaac Wilson, Jeff Wimmer, and Gene Duda all catching Dairy Queen awards. Ian Humphreys, Johnny Castle, Mark Gonzalez, and Dave Holmberg and Emily Urias all catching Dairy Queen awards tonight. So, the fact that, we had so many people having so many issues, again, hats off to Casey and Rhea for both gaining 15 spots from where they started. And as a matter of fact, joining us now, Rhea, talk us through how you feel the race went, because we just barely made it over the exacta that you put out there for a number of cautions.
Well, it went about as expected, as well as I expected going into it. I didn't have high hopes. it was definitely a yo-yo race for the 12 machine and I. We, myself and the 12 machine. Yeah, I was able to lead a lap under green. That felt really good. But I had a couple of X's early on, and they stacked up really quick. But I think that there were a lot of drivers that were impatient and choosing the wrong gear to start at the green, at the drop of the green. I think a lot of people were diving into turn 1, 3 wide at Martinsville. That doesn't work with the skill level that we have. And there was a lot of new drivers in this race for the first time that just didn't know each other, didn't gel properly. It's like basically taking a football team and in mid-season throwing in 5 benched reserve guys that haven't really played all season with those guys. So it's it was challenging. It was tiring. It was exhausting. I'm glad it's over. We won't have to do this again until in the fall, I hope. It was interesting. There were definitely some tempers being flared. It's Martinsville. It's going to happen. And, I was hearing all kinds of I'm sorries, but then a lot of the opposite as well. So it was both sides of the coin and every side in between the two sides.
Well, I mean, from what I could see up here in the booth, a lot of guys had gone to the Brad Keselowski School of Defensive Driving.
Yeah,
there were a lot of chrome horns that were uncalled for.
Yeah, there were a lot of drivers who thought that they were entitled to retaliate because they thought that the previous incident was X driver's fault. Then after watching the replay post-race, there were a lot of apologies. My bad. It was me that actually got into you. And there were drivers trying to convince me to penalize certain drivers for doing this and that. And if it's out of the admin's view and we could not see any intent or any of that kind of stuff, we can't penalize the driver on the spot. We have to wait for the review process and go through the proper motions. I did give the 6 car, unfortunately, John Hopley, a minor penalty for an incident that he admitted to. So with the admission, we were able to go ahead and give him an EOL in a case of hitting somebody under caution. But, as far as those, I'm going to get you because you got me, that's short track racing, and that's assumptions being made without looking at the review, which is why us admins will assess it this week, and going into next week at Bristol, we'll make sure that those penalties get served accordingly. So,
well, the other thing too is there's still quite a few drivers that are in need of a receipt from actions happening tonight. What are your thoughts going into Bristol, considering that tensions are usually pretty high there to begin with? We might be in trouble next week as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be high. It's going to be easy to hide it too, because it is Bristol. If we were going into somewhere like Michigan or an Indianapolis or something, it would be evident that they're getting somebody back from the prior race and see the retaliation maneuver. But it's easy to go, oh, my bad. I drove it in too hard in that corner. My tires gave out, or, there'll be something, and it kind of covers up a little bit of their intention, and it's easily hid. I expect some of that to happen next week for sure.
All right. Well, Rhea, again, we got another one in the books. It's been great to broadcast tonight. Again, just over the exact number that you put out there, but all in all, it wasn't a bad race. I've seen much worse in fewer laps, I might add. But Chris Worrell again getting his first victory here in the iSNF Cup Series. And
yeah, congratulations to him. Yeah.
we're into his bread and butter tracks. So, there's a possibility that he's got a shot at winning at least 2 out of the next 3, or out of 3 consecutive starts. So, that's definitely something I'm going to be keeping an eye on for next week. But that is going to about do it for us here tonight. For Mr. Jason Sawford over on the 1s and 2s in the production truck, bringing you all those beautiful camera angles. This is Tony Trapasso. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, as you walk down the road of life, please don't